Have you ever wondered what the perfect VR headset looks like? Something that surpasses that design of the bulky rectangle strapped to your face. Ever since they hit the market, there's been little to no evolution in the size and shape of VR headsets. That is, until now. What if I told you this tiny little cute device was a full-blown VR headset that comes perfectly molded to your face? Meet the Bigscreen Beyond, a super compact VR headset. Now, calling the Beyond a VR headset almost doesn't fit. It's more like a pair of VR goggles. It's shockingly compact and lightweight, making even the Quest 2 feel bulky and cumbersome in comparison. At first glance, it almost seems too small to deliver a high-end VR experience, but don't let its size fool you. The Beyond is packed with some seriously impressive tech. The Beyond was created to address the heavy, uncomfortable, bulky nature of VR headsets. Their goal is to deliver a product with ultimate comfort and visuals. So let's talk comfort. Obviously, the first thing you're going to notice is the size of this device. It is tiny. It is actually smaller than my iPhone. This thing makes previous VR headsets feel huge and outdated. Paired with the Beyond's small form factor, we have its incredibly light weight, clocking in at just over 200 grams. Again, weighing significantly less than my iPhone, which clocked in at around 251 grams. When wearing the Beyond, it almost feels like you don't have anything attached to your face. For comparison, my Quest 2 setup comes in at just over 900 grams. The difference in weight is crazy. It's the equivalent to having a whole can of beans taped to your face.
Good one. This is so stupid.
The size and weight of the Beyond truly add to the level of immersion in VR. You don't get that drag when moving your head side to side, and it doesn't feel like your head is being pulled forward. This is great for me because sometimes I get headaches when VR headsets weigh down on the front of my face and put all that pressure around my eyes. Beyond the size and weight, see what I did? This headset delivers insane comfort. To do this, Bigscreen customizes the fit of every single headset they ship out. Before placing your order, you have to submit a 3D scan of your face. With this scan, they're able to 3D print a custom face cushion that is perfectly molded to your face. You'll also measure your IPD, the distance between your pupils, so they can set the distance between the lenses accordingly. The cushion is sweat resistant and feels very squishy. When you put it up to your face, it feels different than other VR headsets because the entire surface of the cushion makes contact with your skin. Since it makes a perfect seal with your face, there's absolutely zero light leak, even in a bright room. This is a VR headset made specifically for you, meaning it's only going to deliver ultimate comfort and visuals to the primary user, unless you have an identical twin or something. Now let's quickly talk about the head strap. It's comfortable and gets the job done, but it isn't my favorite. I had to fiddle around a fair bit in order to get the headset to rest in the right spot. Since the lenses are tiny, finding that sweet spot took some small adjustments every time I put on the headset. The tightening system works, but again, it takes some fiddling to find out exactly where that strap should rest on the back of your head and how tight it should be. Once it's on, it mostly stays in place, except during rigorous use.
Let's make the most of the night, cause we're gonna die.
But most people won't be trying to stomp out Darth Vader with all of their strength. This is also a tethered headset, which means the experience can be greatly improved by using a pulley system to hold the cable out of the way. I think the soft head strap is alright, but hopefully the overall fit and comfort will be improved with Bigscreen's newly announced audio head strap. This will be a rigid head strap that features high-end audio and is supposed to improve the fit and adjustment of the Beyond. Now is a good time to mention that out of the box, the Beyond doesn't feature an audio system, so you'll need to use external headphones or earbuds to hear VR audio. I understand why they didn't include this. Audio wasn't the focus of the Beyond's innovation. However, this means you'll need to upgrade to the audio strap or have some other listening device handy in order to use this system. Bigscreen really came through in terms of the Beyond's comfort. I spent a whole 8 hours in VR recording one of my Star Wars videos, and I can honestly say I didn't experience any discomfort. I mean, spending 8 hours in VR probably isn't healthy, but still, no discomfort. Now let's cover the Beyond's visuals. This is gonna be a mouthful. Tucked inside this headset are two micro OLED displays running at up to 90 Hz with a resolution of 2560 by 2560 pixels per eye. Let me tell you, these are some of the crispiest visuals I've ever seen in a VR headset. The clarity is next level. Text and menus are super easy to read. I'll pick up details in games that I've never noticed before. The colors are vibrant, and blacks are truly black, creating dark scenes and shadows that feel impressively realistic. Games like Alien Isolation or other VR horror titles feel significantly more immersive with the Beyond's micro OLED displays. When you're surrounded by true darkness and have no idea what's lurking in the shadows or when an alien might burst out, it's a whole different experience. In real life, I might be sitting in my cozy, brightly lit studio, but in the Beyond, I'm fully immersed on an abandoned spaceship, heart rate rising, expecting a jump scare at any moment. It's amazing how much something simple like true black levels can transform the sense of immersion and presence. After spending time with the Beyond's inky blacks, going back to those gray, washed out shadows of other LCD headsets feels very dull by comparison. As for the 90Hz refresh rate, it feels smooth, and I think it's perfectly adequate for displays that look this good. I didn't miss much switching from the Quest 2's 120Hz display. The Beyond has a 102-degree field of view, which I found fine. It still feels like you're looking through a mask because you can see those dark edges around your vision. However, because of that perfectly fitting face gasket, there's absolutely zero light leak, making it so you can easily forget about those dark edges and become fully immersed. When you first put on the headset, the displays might seem a bit dim, but again, because there's no other light entering the headset, your eyes will quickly adjust. You are able to boost the brightness, but doing so will add more blur into the picture. The visuals aren't perfect though. There's a slight haze and glare around high contrast objects, and while not a deal breaker, it does take away from that lifelike image I had hoped for. While doing things like holding a bright lightsaber or watching a virtual movie, the glare was a bit distracting. I eventually got used to it, but I can definitely still notice it if I think about it. High contrast games like Beat Saber, or any experience that has bright lights and dark environments, are going to make that glare much more apparent. The lenses also have a smaller sweet spot than I'm used to, so the positioning of the headset has to be just right in order to get good clarity and minimize distortion. Speaking of, there is a small ring of distortion around each lens if you look for it. However, since the headset is so light, you end up turning your head instead of using your eyes to look around, so the distortion doesn't end up being a problem.
Oh, and for people with glasses, Bigscreen offers prescription lens inserts, and these snap on with little magnets.
Now let's move on to one of my favorite features of the Beyond, and why I'll be using it to record my VR gaming videos, the microphone. Thank you, Bigscreen, for not overlooking this feature. I'll just let the tests speak for themselves. Alright, so you are now listening to the built-in Beyond microphone. Test, 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 test. Hello, my name is Jonas, aka Zulushi. Alright, and just for comparison, you are now listening to the built-in Quest 2 microphone. Test, 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 test. Hello, my name is Jonas, aka Zulushi. Zero complaints here. The Beyond's microphone will be fantastic for creators or anyone who just wants a crystal clear mic. The Beyond is a native Steam VR headset, which has its pros and cons. On the plus side, the tracking is top-notch because it uses base stations with lighthouse tracking. It's noticeably more accurate than other inside-out tracked headsets like the Quest. But lighthouse tracking means you'll need to buy all of the Steam VR base stations and compatible controllers separately. This makes it a very hefty purchase if you haven't already invested in the Steam VR ecosystem. And this is where we ask the important question: is the Beyond worth it? To answer this, we need to look at who this headset is aimed at. The Beyond is meant for enthusiasts who want the ultimate PC VR experience. And I can attest that the Beyond delivers and has honestly been one of my favorite VR headsets I've used so far. It doesn't include extra goodies like eye tracking, standalone features, or pass-through, but it doesn't need to. The Beyond is laser focused on VR nerds like me who just want a super comfortable PC VR headset with stunning visuals. If what I just described appeals to you, then the Beyond is a fantastic choice. Just be prepared to drop a serious chunk of change. It'll cost $1,000 for the headset, $300 for 2 base stations, $280 for index controllers, and if you include the audio strap for $130, this brings you to a whopping total of just over $1,700 USD. For newcomers or more casual players who still want a great VR experience, there are more economical and versatile options out there. The Quest 2, which costs a quarter of this price, or the newly released Quest 3, which includes a bunch of augmented reality features and starts at $500. These headsets are cheaper, more portable, and can double as standalone and PC VR devices. So it completely depends on the type of VR experience you're looking for. The Bigscreen Beyond may not be the jack-of-all-trades headset, but what it does exceptionally well. Now that I've thoroughly tested and reviewed the Bigscreen Beyond, I can confidently say that this is a huge leap in the evolution of VR. The size and weight alone are a game changer, but the fact that they squeezed in those stunning micro OLED displays makes this headset even more impressive. My few reservations include the absence of built-in audio and the somewhat finicky head strap, issues that seem to be addressed with their upcoming audio head strap. Additionally, I'd love to see some improvements in reducing that lens glare. I don't know if the perfect VR headset will ever come into play, but hopefully this step taken by the Beyond will inspire other companies to reimagine their designs and continue to push VR to its limits. I would love to see this form factor become the new standard in the VR industry. I think it would break the stigma around bulky VR headsets and help people see that VR is truly the future of gaming. To see that with enough research and development, we will be able to achieve those VR simulations we see in the movies. Let me know your thoughts on the Bigscreen Beyond. Do you see it dominating the PC VR landscape in the near future? I'm always on the hunt to find the latest and greatest VR tech to share with you. If you enjoy this content or find it useful, hit that subscribe button and join the fam. Until next time.